so excited we can chat and everything, and I look forward to hearing about your writing and your books and you. So, can you just start out by telling a little bit about yourself and your writing and how you got started?
Yeah, so I've been writing. I actually writing, I think a lot more back in high school. I've always loved to write stories. And then I got into college, I took a different route. And, I actually came back to it during COVID. I think like a lot
Okay.
of people picked up hobbies.
Yeah.
And so I picked up writing again during COVID. And that ended up, I actually started out in the fanfic space for a little
Oh,
bit. And that
really?
ended up spinning into my first book, which came out last year. And then now I have another one coming out in like a little over a week. So,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. I bet you're just so excited.
So yes, my second book comes out in about like a little over a week. It comes out on the 26th, and it is a why choose Western. So it's actually set back in the Old West, and it's about a girl named Cora who actually goes looking for vengeance against the people that killed her father, and she ends up being taken under the wing of two outlaws who teach her how to survive amongst other things.
Cool.
So it's um it's a really
Yep.
fun story, and I had so much fun writing it. And so I think it's just so fun to now see people reading it, and the arcs
Yeah.
went out on Tuesday, so
Oh,
we're starting to
wow.
see people getting a chance to read it. And so that's been really cool.
Good. And the cover is beautiful for that book. I just think that cover is
Thank
beautiful.
you. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I know. Rachel McEwen, who is an absolute gem, did my cover, and she also did the interior. So the interior of the book also
Oh,
has some really cool like illustrations and stuff in it. So she just did a phenomenal job. I from like actually this art I have in the background
yeah.
is from one of my favorite artists in London, and I was like,
Oh,
this vibe is what I'm going for, is like
love it.
this like kind of like high noon but like lots of color. And I was like, I want to see the guys like writing, and she totally just like got what I was going for, and she did an
Oh,
amazing. Like it was like one take, and she did. I was like,
that's
yes,
amazing.
exactly that. So
That's great. So
she did she
she
did an
had
incredible job.
the assignment. She knew what she was doing.
She knew, she got me. She picked up exactly what I was putting down, and I was like, I think literally I had like one change, and I was like, can we just make her clothing look a little bit more like period, like. And she was like, oh my god, yeah. And I mean, she did it like that. I was like, I mean,
Wow.
truly, she's incredible.
That is
Um,
amazing.
I think I've learned, um, I think especially in this space, like, I mean, you find people that get you, and
Mhm.
I've been so blessed to find Rachel, who did my cover for Adversity, and then actually like a friend of a friend named Dan did my cover for Crush, and he did an amazing job too. But I
Yes,
have
the crush
an
is
amazing
beautiful
editor,
too. I love
so
it. It's a beautiful
so
cover.
so good. Yes, he did an amazing job. And he actually, the first cover I had designed for that fell through kind of like at the last minute, and he stepped in and he did. I was like, I want the book, because there's a significant part where the main female character has a pink diary that she had when she was younger. So I was like, I want the book to look like the diary. And so
Oh,
I mean,
cool.
he also understood the assignment
Yeah,
and
I love
just did a
that.
great job. So yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's
been lucky
wonderful.
for sure.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad for you. That's wonderful. Well,
Thank you.
in case nobody has heard of what the crush is about, can you tell,
Yep.
kind of give a little blurb saying what it's about? And
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be a great place.
So the Crush is, I think, kind of like a Romeo and Juliet vibe. It actually takes place in the 90s. It takes place in a small town in Texas on a ranch, and it is about these two characters. One of them, she has had a crush on him hence the title, since she was young, and he is actually the only son of like the family that were her parents' best friends. So they like have kind of known each other for a long time. He
Sure.
is her oldest brother's age, and he just like never really saw her. Like, I mean, it was like kind of just like the annoying like girl that
Little
was,
sister
you know,
type vibe.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so they actually both leave town for a while and come back. And when he comes back, he sees her, and she's now all grown up, and they're just kind of drawn to each other. And I think
Oh,
that
fun.
they both, one for her, like it's like he's that he's that crush. Like we've all had a crush on somebody at some point that we probably shouldn't. And he's
Yeah.
like this person that she's just always had this thing for. And for him, she is just kind of at first like a little bit of a distraction to get through some of the things he's going through, but then he
Oh,
falls like
sure.
really hard for her too. But it's also about their families, and it's about their um just it's actually about like their families and grief. And I mean it's about a lot more than just the romance, I think. But
Right.
it's a I think, I'm biased, but I think it's a really cool story.
That's
So
awesome. Yeah. Well, it really does matter that you love it because you're the
yeah,
author, right? Yeah. That's
it does.
awesome.
And
I
you
love
read
that.
it 50,000 times, so you better love it because you
Yes.
you read it
Yes.
like a
Oh my
million times.
gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true.
So
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I love that. So when you were writing the story, did the plot or the characters come first?
Um, that's a really good question. I think it's a little bit of both. I think I almost kind of start like with one character maybe, and then I kind of start building around them. And like I think I start with like, oh, here's this character, in a sense, like what's wrong with them, like what like what journey do they
Yeah.
need to go on, and then what are the events that happen to them that kind of take that will facilitate that. So I
Sure.
tend to be very character driven in my writing. I like to think a lot about like what makes the characters tick, like why are they the way they are, what's their background, and then like how are they going to respond to situations, and then how are they going to um, what kind of dynamics they're going to have with the other characters in the story. And I
Right.
definitely love getting into the characters. So I think my side characters are as like I think I know as much about them as I know about like the main characters. And
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
think I think that's why the adversity, which is my new book, is a why choose. It's about three characters essentially, and I think that was partially so fun because you get to play with more than one set of dynamics, and for me
Yeah.
that's a lot of fun. So
Okay. That's really cool. And so this one's kind of set in the 90s, you said.
yeah,
And then your new one is set kind of Westernish, right?
it is set in like the old west, the wild west. So
Okay.
apparently I just don't want to write anything that has a cell phone in it. But
I love
I
it.
went I went way back for this one.
Yeah.
I always joke that I am a like lifelong cowboy enthusiast, but
Yeah.
I just love that time period. I think it's just I mean, it's just such a cool time. But I mean,
Yeah.
my grandfather growing up, who was like a huge influence on me, he was like such a cowboy guy, and he always had
Okay.
westerns on when I came home from school, and so I think it's just like in my
In your
blood,
DNA, in your blood, right?
so
Yeah.
yeah, so I
That's
just love
cool.
that time period.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's just something about, the time periods where there weren't cell phones because or the
yeah,
internet or Facebook or, I mean, we
yeah.
have it all now, right? But like back then, it was a pretty good time to grow up.
Well, and I think especially when you're writing stories, I think it adds an additional layer of complexity because I think now
Yeah.
there's so many things that could be solved with just like a quick text of like, "Hey, where are you? Like,
Right?
where are you? What are you doing right now?" And when that is not easily available, it
Yeah.
does add like an additional layer of complexity that I think we kind of forget about now because everybody is so accessible. But
Yeah.
I think too because all of us, I think, are so plugged in all the time. I think there is something a little therapeutic about being in a world where there really is
None of
like
that. Yeah.
no technology or technology light. I think
Yeah.
is a little bit of a nice breather.
I
So
like that. Yeah. That is
yeah,
very nice. Yeah, that is really cool. So with the your newest book being kind of Westernish
yeah,
then, and back without a lot of technology, did you have to
yeah.
do a lot of research?
I did. I mean, I think that as I said, I've kind of been obsessed with that time for a long time. So
Right.
I love Tombstone. I love like Quickly Down Under,
Yes. Oh goodness, Quigley Down
Open
Under is
Range.
my fave.
Tom Selleck
I
in that
know, right? He's
movie.
amazing.
Oh my God.
A very
Ugh.
handsome older man.
I know. I like he definitely is like the inspo for like what like partially the inspo for like one of my characters. It is like a really kind of gruff like
Yeah.
cowboy and oh
That's
my
so
God, I
funny.
love that movie. But
Yeah.
so I think I definitely went in with like a healthy knowledge base of the
Right.
time already just because I've always been into it. But actually I'm very blessed because my husband is a history buff
Oh,
and
good. Oh, exciting.
So so as I was like researching, I was like, he actually read a few books for me on Tombstone and like kind of like Wyatt Earp and like this time period. And so
Oh,
he's like my
I
very
love
fun researcher.
this.
I know. So it's really so I can like so I because it takes a lot off me that I might not have time to read this whole book because
Right.
I'm writing, for me to be able to be like, hey, like can you like tell me about this, or can you look into this for me? And so that's it's a fun way for him to kind of do this with me too. But
Right. How
yeah,
fun. So does he read your books too then after?
he is like so he's definitely planning on reading this next one. We kind of keep
Right.
joking that like he'll wait for like the audiobook version, but he's definitely read
Okay.
parts of my writing.
Yeah.
And he is like a nonfiction guy, but
Okay.
he's read parts of it and he's incredibly supportive.
That's
And I think
great.
probably it's more of me where I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for you, but like I
That's funny.
but yeah, he's incredibly supportive, and
Good.
he's read parts, and he is just like, he's definitely been all in on me like doing this and makes so
Good.
much of this possible. So
Oh
yeah.
yeah, it's a huge difference when you have a supportive partner with
It is,
stuff like
yeah,
this. I've
yeah.
talked to some who before who don't have supportive partners with it, and that's so tough. But I'm right there with you. My husband's very supportive as well, so that's great.
Yeah, I think it's that kind of it's that it's that stereotype you see, like the reader girl and the gamer guy, where like I mean
Yeah,
but I think we both enjoy, I think we both understand like that having our own hobbies is really important. And
right.
we have two young kids, and so I think it's
Okay.
like one of those things where I could not do this if he was not like,
Right.
supportive in the same way, because it is time away for me to go do stuff. And
Yep.
having that support system helps. And
Wow. Yeah.
my family's been really helpful too, so
That's
yeah.
good. Well, that leads right into the next question with like being a mom and an author.
Yeah.
For people out there that want to be, a mom or a dad and also be an author, what tips do you have for them that have really helped you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the big things for me early on is, and I think it's so easy in motherhood, like in motherhood and fatherhood too, to like kind of just get wrapped up in this. And I think that's where when we went into COVID and we were on lockdown, I think I kind of had this moment where I was like, I don't have any hobbies. Like I'm like I don't have like beyond like my kid and who's amazing, but like beyond like my kid and like all the stuff I do like for work and like just kind of like keeping everything moving. I was like I'm like I really don't feel like I have any hobbies that are just kind of me. And so
Mhm.
I like kind of made a conscious choice to get back into reading, and then that led me back into writing. But I think for me, my mentality on it is so important to have those pieces of you that are still
Right.
for you. And especially for, both my daughter and my son to see like, mommy doing stuff that is for mom and that like
Yeah.
brings her joy and that refills her cup. And, it definitely is a balance. And there's some days where I get a lot done and there's some days I don't get much done. But I think it is so important to acknowledge that you are still you,
Hmm.
in addition to being mom and like all
Yes.
these other things. So I think, I don't talk about my kids much on social media, like on my author stuff. One, because I
Right. Protect
I don't
them and
I don't
yeah.
know that I want to expose them to that. But then two,
Right.
it's just I think it is important to have like a space that's still you. You're still you.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a great answer. I love that. And okay, and then so since we're on a road trip right now as well, in your state, if someone was coming to your state and had never been there, what things would you tell them they must go and see? Or in your area, your
Oh
state?
my gosh. I mean, it's a really cool. I mean, Wisconsin's gorgeous. I mean, I think
It is.
that I'm gonna give the very basic answer of like if you're here in the fall, like you got to go north. And like I mean, the
Yeah.
colors are gorgeous. I mean, I think that Wisconsin just has so much natural beauty. I mean, there's so many places that are just like breathtakingly beautiful.
Oh,
But then
sure.
I also feel like I love Milwaukee as a city. I feel like
Mm,
it just feels like very warm. It's very accessible. I think having, I've spent time living outside of Chicago too, and Chicago versus Milwaukee, just getting around is like so much easier getting around
really?
Milwaukee.
Okay.
Um, it's just, yeah, I mean, I think it's just, you've got like the Third Ward, you've got like all these like, like really cute places that you can just kind of pop around to all of these different places
Yeah.
in a day really easily. And I think the community here is also just like incredibly
Cool.
warm and lovely. And I always joke that like we have a local romance bookstore, Thirst, that I always joke that I'm like the ghost that haunts Thirst books because I'm there like all the time. But I mean, it's fun. I've just, I genuinely have met so many really cool people
Oh, good.
um, around here. So I mean, I think it's really cool. But there's so many different things with Wisconsin that you can. I mean, there's the
Totally.
beautiful farmland, beautiful parts when you go up north where it's just trees and trees and trees and like I mean
Right.
it's beautiful. So yeah,
Yeah.
love it.
I took my husband to Door County for the first time, for
Yes,
him
yeah,
the first time,
yeah,
and it's so beautiful. I love it. It's just a beautiful area.
yeah. I was just up there for my brother. My brother just got married up there, and we got married
Cool.
up in like Hillsdale, which is like really far northern Wisconsin,
Okay.
and it's which you can go further, but we've gone up like snowmobiling like up further, and it's
Wow.
just beautiful. I mean, I think it's so pretty,
Yeah,
and like I mean, I mean, I'm biased now, but like,
it is
but I mean,
gorgeous. It
it's
is.
gorgeous. It
And I
is.
live in North Dakota, so yeah, I love it's beautiful. Beautiful
Yeah, and I
place.
mean the lakes, and I mean, I think that's the thing, especially like because I grew up in Illinois. Like I grew up surrounded by
Yep.
cornfields, and now it's like I kind of feel like I'm still in awe of just like how many lakes there are. Like
Right.
it feels like being on vacation. I feel like a lot of time when I'm here.
That's
So, but
awesome.
it's just so pretty. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Well, and if you were to take your two main characters from this book at the end of the book, if they were to go on a road trip, where would they go?
Oh my gosh. Well, so I mean, so ironically, they live in Texas,
Okay.
which is so funny because I am so hot weather intolerant, and I write all of these stories that take place like in
That
Texas
is
and
so funny.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, it's funny that you mentioned that because I think for both those characters, they both have like a huge desire to just like get out and see the world, and so I
Sure.
think they would go. Honestly, I think it's like one of those things. I think they just want to see it all. I could totally see them being like the
Big,
people that
huge
do like
road trip.
the big lap around the United
I
States and
love that. I
yeah,
love that.
other places too. So,
Yeah. When my
yep.
husband, before we were married, so he lived in Australia and I lived here in Minnesota, North
Oh,
Dakota.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so I met him when I went to study abroad, actually. And so the first time he came over here, I had this huge American road trip planned, and I he didn't know where we were going at all. Like, so we started out and we did a huge lap, ended up in California, and then made our way back. So it was huge and massive.
I know.
Loved it.
My husband really wants to go on like a national parks road trip, and I
Fun.
I do tend to get car sick, and so I feel like I like just immediately pass out. I am the worst passenger,
Oh
like co-pilot,
no.
'cause I
Yeah.
just immediately pass out and go to sleep.
Yeah.
But I know, like when the kids are older, I think maybe we'll try and do
There you
that. So
go. That
yeah,
would be super fun. Oh my
yeah.
goodness. I love
Yeah.
that. Cool. And then, so if you were to go on a road trip and you had to pick one book, and this book is like your go-to, you go back to it many times throughout the years, what book would that be? It's a really hard question.
It's so hard.
I know, right?
I mean, I am a Pride and Prejudice girly. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I like for sure. I read that book probably about once a year. I also reread
Cool.
Discovery of Witches like every fall, which is like Deborah Harkness is that's such a good book series.
Mm.
I'm trying to think of what of my other like Lights Out by Nevessa Allen has become one of those ones that I listen to every time now. Like I just need a
Yep.
good laugh. I don't think I can pick just one.
I
That's
know. That's okay. Yeah. If you pick those ones, that's fine. It's hard, right? Because
it's so hard.
you have the
It's
ones
so
that you
hard.
loved as a child, and then you have the ones that you love now,
I
and yeah.
I know, and I think it's like I think yeah, we're in this era of publishing now too, that like indie publishing, I mean like myself included, are
Right.
so much better, so much more accessible that like we get so many good books. Like, I mean, I feel like I just am constantly on a
Mhm.
growing TBR. And I think, I've discovered um, so many like cool indie authors that way. And, I think I feel
Same.
like I have new favorite books every week, but
Yeah,
I think I have like my growing TBR stack behind me,
I love
but
that.
I know I mean I feel like there's so many good books. I just finished the oh my gosh, the Sleepless in Seattle inspired one, the First Time Caller,
Oh,
which was
cool. Was it
so
good?
cute,
Oh,
so
good.
cute.
I have that one
Um,
on my next to read after a couple of these books.
it's so cute. It's I think especially like because I'm like a '90s like
Yes.
rom-com fan. I
Oh,
mean,
they were so good back then, weren't they? Those 90s rom-coms,
they
like
don't make them
10
like
Things I
that
Hate About
anymore.
You and all of those. Like, why don't they make them like that anymore? They were
They
so
don't.
fun.
I know You've Got Mail is like a classic. I mean, they just don't
Uh-huh.
make them like that anymore. And I want that back.
Yeah,
I'm like
same.
bring rom-coms back, like really good ones.
Yes,
Make them a little
exactly.
90s inspired, but yeah.
Yeah. There was just something
So
about that, that was just so, yeah, it's like nostalgic and it's just so
yeah,
lovely. And I love
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think they're so like I think there's such a comfort, like, because it's like you
Yeah.
kind of know like what to expect. Like, there's not like a lot of like, there's not like a lot of intensity. It's like you're like this is just cute. Like this is just
Yeah. Yeah.
this is just like
It
soul good for the soul.
it
Like,
is so good for
yeah,
the soul. It's like
yeah.
chocolate chip cookies. It's
Yes,
perfect.
yes, I
I love
know.
it.
I know they're just I still put a lot of those kind of movies on just when I'm
Oh,
like bopping around the house for sure.
are
So.
you working on anything right now?
I am. So I'm actually working on, I've switched gears since like Adversity is coming out, and I'm actually working on book two of Crush.
Oh, cool.
Um, so the Crush is the first in actually a four-book series. So the first one is about Issa, who's the youngest sister in that family, and then the next one is actually gonna follow her brother Gabe,
Mm,
who I think was definitely like a fan favorite for people. So, but
cool.
it'll follow like her three brothers, and I have always just loved series like that, like where you get to
Yeah.
follow a family, and I think it just gives you more time to spend in that world and like you get so attached to the family. I mean, I think it's just I think one of the first I think the first romance series that I truly fell in love with was like that. And so
Oh,
I think that
yeah.
has always just been something that I love. So
Right. Yeah, I love that too. And two, it kind of makes you think of like, I don't know, kind of like almost Gilmore Girls, where you have all those
yeah.
characters and you kind of wish you could
Yes.
like follow each of them and see what their lives were like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that too. I love it when it sticks around and kind of follows certain people
Yeah. Well, and
that
I
you
think you
learn
get
about
like
in one book.
you get so attached. Like, I think you're not ready. You're not
Yeah,
ready to be done. And I think you want to see like everybody end up happy and everybody get their everybody get their
yeah.
happy ending. And so I think those types of stories are so fun. Like, I mean, like I think that's why everybody loves Bridgerton so much, right?
Oh,
Where
for
it's just like
sure.
you get to see this whole family, like, and then you get to kind of check in with the ones that before you get to see them happy,
Right.
so I think I totally get why people love those kind of stories.
Me
So
too. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I completely agree. Well, if you could just share where people can kind of find you in your books and everything,
yeah.
and just so I can share that so people can go and find you.
Yeah, absolutely. I am on both TikTok and Instagram as Ren Browne Writes, and then my books. You can find them on Amazon, but you can also order them through pretty much any bookseller. So you can order them through your local indie. Heavily advocate that, and then yeah, like wherever books are sold, you can find
Awesome.
or order. So yeah,
Cool.
I have. Crushes out now. Adversity comes out on the 26th, and then my next one will come out like hopefully early next year. So
Yay. Well, that is so exciting. It was so much
uh,
fun. You have a great rest of your night, Ren. It was
thanks,
great
you too.
chatting with you.
Thanks. Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye. Thanks for riding shotgun on the Romance Reading Road Trip. I'm so excited for you to be joining this journey with us. Be sure to go down to the video description below and sign up for the passport. You're not going to want to miss out on it.